Hello guys, it's sapphireyagami. I'm here with the review of Sleep. I about to say the wrong show. Once Upon a Time season. Yeah, well, season 5. Yeah, 3, 4, yeah, season 5. I actually had to think about the villains for a minute for each season. Like, wait a minute, who was the villain of which season? Yeah. So, yep, we're on Once Upon a Time season 5. I'm going to talk about the season so far because this Sunday. It's going to be the winter finale, and then we're going to take a break, until next year when it comes back on. So far in this season, we've been introduced to the fact that Emma is now the Dark One. And we've gotten more into the origins of the Dark One. We found out that it all started off with Merlin, because we're also introduced to a lot of more of the Arthurian legend characters. So we've been to Camelot. We got the location is Camelot. We've seen King Arthur, Guinevere, Lancelot, and Merlin, of course, Excalibur. Other characters we've been introduced to, it has been Merida from the movie Brave. Not only that, but also, Dunbrock, her land. We kind of seen her 3 brothers, her father, and of course her mother. Well, and the witch from the series as well. Any other new characters? No, that's it. Okay. Oh yeah, the Dark Ones. So back to start off with Miss Swan. So with her being the Dark One, she sort of what they happen is, like with previous seasons, is there's been a curse. They can't remember. The only person who knows is Emma Swan of what happened that led her to become the Dark One. So when they see her, they're like, what they don't know what happened to Camelot that made their daughter become the Dark One. So now they're trying to figure out what is her plan, what is her end goal. So we find out that what happened in Camelot is, when they got to Camelot, Merlin was trapped in a tree. And they had to release him, which they eventually did. But they found out King Arthur has his ulterior motive, his own motive, which is he feels like he's not the proper king of Camelot because he doesn't have the full of Excalibur. Come to find out, Excalibur is broken in 2, and the Dark One's dagger is actually the other half of Excalibur. Is actually one whole sword. So this chaos ensues within Camelot. That once the gang finds out that what Arthur's really trying to do, it ends up leading to this little fight between them, and leads to Emma becoming a Dark One. In terms of Merlin gets controlled, they're threatening to kill her family and everything. Hook gets poisoned, and his injury bad that it's gonna kill him. So Emma, not wanting to lose Hook, takes Excalibur, makes Hook into a Dark One, and so now it's both Emma and Hook are just 2 Dark Ones instead of 1. So that's why Emma became a Dark One. It was an attempt to save Hook, Captain Hook. Hook doesn't like the idea because he's already been dark before. And that need for revenge of what the crocodile, who is also Rumpelstiltskin, had did to him. But I'm like, my thing is, you kind of really should be mad. I mean, that was his wife. Can you really be mad? I mean, that was his wife, and Rumpelstiltskin had all reasons to be pissed off at you. Maybe taking off your hand was a little bit harsh, but he still had a right to be pissed at you. And so, with the Dark One, with 2 Dark Ones. They're like, whoa, because normally we always have 1, it was Rumpelstiltskin for the past seasons, and now we've realized there's 2. And Emma hasn't become completely dark. I mean, she has done some things, but she hasn't done evil things in terms of like what I would say Regina has done, or Rumpelstiltskin has done, or the Wicked Witch of the West has done. She hasn't done nothing on their level of things. I mean, she's hurt Henry's heart, feelings. Did she actually kill anybody? No, she almost killed Merida, but she didn't actually kill her. And so we found out the way they got back to Storybrooke was Captain Hook kills Merlin, and the only way he could do that was by Mrs. Nimue was the first dark one, I'm gonna get into the more dark archer that allowed Hook to kill Merlin, which enacted the curse. Emma summoned all her family back into the diner, used dream catchers to take their memories and place this into the cauldron, thus enacting the memory forgetfulness thing of the curse. That's why they all couldn't remember. So then we go into the more of the origin. The origin I want to talk about for a minute is, okay, we have Merlin years and years ago in the desert somewhere. He and his friend come upon the Holy Grail. The friend gets killed automatically once he touches it. Merlin does like prayer, he touches it, he drinks it, it gives him magic powers. So Merlin is now like this great powerful wizard. So he's using his magic to help people, and then he ends up meeting this young woman named Nimue. Nimue has left her village because of this warlord has killed all the people and everything. And a part of her is set on revenge, and Merlin's like, he's lived many lifetimes, he has seen so much things, and he kind of just wants to be, human again, I mean, immortality, as you know, it's not a good time, you don't never die, you don't never get sick, like, what? Yeah, but then it's like, you kind of get lonely, because you're sort of the only one, and you're watching people you come to care about and love eventually die. You're not dying, you're just still here. So he's like, I'm gonna give up my powers and I want to marry you and be with you forever. And she's like, okay, cool. So they go through her village because they have to turn the Holy Grail, which he drunk from, into something that's going to get rid of his magic. And so when they get trapped by the warlord, Nimue sneaks and drinks from the Holy Grail. So Merlin does not realize this until he melts down the Holy Grail and turns it into Excalibur. And Nimue rips off the heart of the man and crushes it, thus becoming the first Dark One through that act of vengeance. And then what Merlin does is take Excalibur, binds it to it, and I can't remember if he broke it into. No, I think she broke it in two, and that's why we have the Dark One dagger. It was broken on that time frame. So since then, there has been different Dark Ones throughout time. There's Nimue, and there's the guy that before Rumpelstiltskin and all that stuff, and then we have Emma and Hook. So we find out that the Dark One's plan is to literally bring them all into the flesh. So at the end of the previous episode, we see Hook go to the lake, which is apparently the pathway to fucking Hades. Who knew they had that in a storybook? Who knew? The pathway to Hades. So he unlocks it using the blood from Rumpelstiltskin, because he didn't really kill him, he just needed his blood, and he unlocks it, and now all the Dark Ones, all the previous Dark Ones from Nimue up to Hook and Emma are now are going to be in storybook. So I'm like, oh snap, it's going to be good. So that's pretty much all for the main characters and cast. The Wicked Witch, her character has been interesting this season too. Obviously, she's still wicked. She had her baby, even because Emma sort of forced the pregnancy. She had like a whole Twilight thing going on right for a minute. Hook and Regina, they hope that with Zelena having this baby is going to cause a change of heart in her. Like Regina was, we know she's the evil queen, she's wicked and everything, she was evil, but when she had Henry, she sort of had this change of heart because she had to care for somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So they're hoping that this happens with Zelena, that she lets go of this envy, this wickedness that she has in her, and becomes a better person, which I kind of hope it does, but maybe it won't be, we may have a baby wicked on our hands, who knows. Merida's character has been interesting as well. Her whole storyline sort of takes place after the film. So because she's a female, the other clans don't think she's the proper person to run, the entire clans. Because her family is all the clans. So her brother was kidnapped by the other, the three dudes that she was supposed to be she was married with. They were about to kill them. She saves them. And now we have this war is about to break out over these soldiers coming to try to kill them. Find out it's actually King Arthur and his men and coming to fight them. And Merida is afraid that she cannot properly lead her people, and so lead her people, and so she's crap. I think I'm getting the storylines mixed up because some of it happened when her dad was alive, some of it happened when her dad was gone. Yeah, I'm thinking about the parts of when her dad was alive. Okay, because it was confusing me for a minute. So when her dad was here, the King Arthur and his people was coming toward Camelot because King Arthur is looking for what he was looking for. He's looking for this helmet that the king had. King went to the witch to commission this helmet, which we found out was just a learning tool for Merida. God damn it. And so King Arthur is the one who kills Merida's father in battle. Merida ends up getting also introduced to Mulan to help her become a better warrior, because Merida can shoot a bow, but she's not prepared to actually fight in a war. So she is trained with her. Mulan, because of her heartbreak, which I still don't get how that happened, because I seriously thought it was Prince Philip, the way they had it going. All of a sudden, this Aurora, she's getting off that heartbreak, and so now she's sort of like this mercenary type, and eventually she gets over it, and she ends up going off with Red Riding Hood to look for more of her, look for her pack. We'll stay together, bro. And so Merida is finally accepted as the rightful leader of their clans, and we find out that the witch gave the helmet. The whole thing with the helmet was to teach Merida that she didn't need a magical object to help her lead. She didn't need that. And then she is given this oil which she can use to talk to her father for a brief moment again. So that was a beautiful moment. So I think that's pretty much all for Merida, unless they want to bring her character in again. But pretty much that's the end of her storyline. So we're probably going to develop more after this winter finale is over into more of Mulan and Red Riding Hood, what they're going on in the Enchanted Forest. And I don't know who else. Because if they end the Dark Ones thing with this season, I don't know what else they're going to do within the current season. What are they going to do? I really don't know. Like, I'm actually thinking about it. If they end the Dark One thing in this winter finale, what are they going to do for the second half of the season? Because the whole thing was about Emma becoming, the Dark One. And now we realize there's two. But I've seen some theories on Facebook of that, probably the same hook from becoming the Dark One, Emma might sacrifice herself, and it might end up causing her soul to go to Hades, and thus causing the family to go down to Hades to rescue her. Which, in case if that theory actually becomes truth, if they go to Hades, that would allow them to introduce Hercules, Disney's Hercules scenario, because Hades is real. The Greek god Hades. But then it's like, can they actually introduce gods into the storyline? Because so far all we've been dealing with was simple characters, witches, heroes, werewolves. We haven't really done no type of god-like characters on this show. I mean, we have seen Thor's hammer in Rumpelstiltskin's castle. Like in I can't remember what episode it was, but it was in, I believe it was last season. It was through a flashback episode, and if you notice behind Rumpelstiltskin while he's talking, you can see Thor's hammer. So obviously, Rumpelstiltskin, in order to get Thor's hammer, obviously he had to have met a god or been somewhere where in the realm of where gods would have existed, because as we know in, I believe it was season 3, that there are many portals to other worlds. Like in Henry's, I think it was in Henry's book, we saw a portal that led to Wonderland. We've been to Wonderland. We've seen that. We had a whole little one season about it. We've seen the Enchanted Forest, which is where Snow White and the Evil come from. We've seen Oz, where we get the Wicked Witch of the West. We've been to Camelot. That's where we have the King Arthur legends. We have, who else have we been to? We have Mulan. Mulan is actually we've been to China. Well, we haven't actually been to China, but we know, obviously Mulan is Chinese. She had to come from China somewhere. We had the fictional China along with the fictional Scotland, because that's where Merida's from, Scotland. So it's like, okay, what other characters can you bring in her? Because we even had Dr. Frankenstein. And we had Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil is from a world without any magic, but she's also a fictional character. So it's like, you have worlds like Cruella's where there's no magic involved, but they're all part of fairy tales. So it's like, all these worlds we have been introduced far. Okay, can I remember all the worlds we've been introduced to? Enchanted Forest, Neverland, Arendelle, Oz, Camelot, Dunbrock, our world, our world, London. We haven't been to Atlantica, but we have seen Ariel and Ursula. But we haven't been to Atlantica, so I'm not sure if we're ever gonna go there. But but we did have Poseidon though, so they can probably introduce Hades. I just thought about that because Ursula's father is Poseidon. So if they introduce Poseidon, they can introduce Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. So it can happen. So I can't believe I almost forgot that. Like, for real. So they can introduce Hades if they go with that scenario, because we're introduced. We already seen a Fury. That's Greek mythology, straightforward. So they might be introducing the Hercules mythology from Disney into Storybook, which would be interesting. So, that means we might get a Hercules and Meg. Oh, Pegasus and Zeus. I'm not getting so excited now. Like, who would be Hercules, though? I mean, you need somebody who can play Hercules. Oh, and Meg got somebody to be like, see you later, Herc. Oh, dang. And that would definitely be interesting. Because we keep talking about this underworld of, the path to Hades. So I'm like, because usually when they introduce characters or places, it's usually going to lead us to something else. So if it does lead into the Greek mythology, and we see Hades, is definitely be a good idea. But I also do want to see them eventually bring back Jafar, because we have seen his character. We've seen his character. And since we already seen his character, it's just a matter of time before we bring in Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, Abu, and Raj. I'm saying. I'm sort of waiting for Aladdin. I mean, waiting for Aladdin. Definitely, I'm going to make this, I was not trying to make this too long, but, if they do that, they'll definitely be interested in seeing Hades and everything. And characters I also would like to see also on the show, as I said, is bring back Jafar so we can introduce Aladdin and Jasmine. Definitely other characters I want to see, because we have seen Mulan, who's Chinese, and Merida, who's from Scotland. So that means they could bring in other characters along with Cruella. It's also the same thing with Cruella de Vil. They could bring characters sort of as Tiana. Also, what is going on with Maleficent, because we sort of left her with her daughter, so are they still in Storybook? It's like, what's going on with their characters? It's like, I definitely want to see more of Maleficent and Lily, see, what's going on there. And of course, not only Maleficent and Lily, but also Aurora and Prince Philip, because last time I seen them, they had babies. She finally had babies. And also Cinderella, because the last time we seen them is Aurora and Cinderella. I think was another girl. They was all like, just like mommy thing, meaning what Snow White was talking to them. So definitely want to see their characters too. But if they're sort of done with their storylines, then it will make sense that we don't probably see them as much. But definitely want to see some more of the characters that we have been introduced to, and want to see more of their characters develop overall seasons. Definitely want to see that too. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.